Hi guys, Andy here with another head-to-head. We have here my Tesco but de-branded, unbranded Moto G and my brother's Nexus 4 for a... actually this one's not been that much requested, it's more that I've wanted to do. I have seen a few people asking which is better, the Nexus 4 or the Moto G, so it's obviously something that's on people's minds. So I figured I would go ahead and do one of my usual unscientific throw information at you, do what you want with it type head-to-heads. We start off with the usual Angry Birds test. And that goes, let's do another one though. The first one did just get the Moto G, again, just slightly ahead, yep, still. Yep. Not a great deal in it, but the Moto G just a whisker ahead on each startup. We're going to move on to the benchmark tests. So, you can see the last test result that I did. Normally I'd also run Geekbench, but because it's a paid app and I'm not logged in to my account on this phone and I don't particularly want to mess too much with it, so we're just going to go with Antutu. Hopefully that's good enough for everybody. It looks like the Nexus 4. I don't know. Well, anyway, I'll come back when we've got a result. So interestingly, the frames per second is higher over here on the Moto G. The Nexus 4, the whole way through the test, has kind of kept, I don't know, 7 or 8 seconds ahead of the Moto G, but that gap seems to have stayed. Something happened early on, I think, that gave it that boost, and it's not actually sort of expanded. So there we go, 16,600, which is about what I'm expecting. There we go. So the Moto G has just pipped the Nexus 4 there with the score. If you want to be able to see the actual results, I'll scroll through a little bit there. You can see the 3D graphic scores. So the 2D graphics much better on the Nexus 4, but the 3D graphics much better on the Moto G. Well, there we go. Okay, let's test the GPS. So we're going to go into the app, we're going to go to Tools, Manage GPS. So I'm going to reset them both and then back out. So you see internal GPS date cleared. Now neither, actually no, sorry, this one does have a SIM card, but they're both connected via Wi-Fi. So actually the SIM card's irrelevant, it's using the data through the exact same Wi-Fi connection. Because I know some people seem to think that has a big factor on the GPS. I'm almost certain it doesn't. When you actually try using just the GPS, it will use just the GPS. It's not using cell towers, it's not using Wi-Fi, apart from downloading the AGPS state. So the M4 is aware of 16 but locked on all 3. The Moto G... Ooh, I don't know what that request failed would be. So the M4 is locked. The Moto G... Now I have noticed the Moto G is... It seems to be patchy with the GPS. Sometimes I've seen it lock on so quick, it's amazing, but in fact I won't lie, I rebooted and did one, and it was really, really bad. I rebooted the phone and it locked really quickly. So now I've kind of cleared everything, reset the state, and we're going again, and it's really struggling. So, kind of odd, I won't lie to you. The M4 clearly is the winner though. What I would say, I suppose, don't worry, this looks quite bad. I guarantee you, I'm indoors as well, so that doesn't help. And even if you watch some of the other head-to-head videos, you'll see the Moto G, it does lock on actually. There was one of them, it locked on, I think it was against the Nexus 5. It locked on in a couple of seconds. So, I'm not quite sure why. It could even be as simple as, one of the tests I did, this was on the other side and it locked really quick. It could be as simple as something like that. Well, the Nexus 4 has definitely won that. So we'll move on, but at the same time I would say don't worry, it's not the GPS does work fine on the Moto G, so don't panic. So let's go on and just listen to the speakers. I'll tell you now, the Moto G is one of the loudest speakers on any phone. Wow, you hear the difference when... The Nexus speaker really gets muffled when you... Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's quite flush with the... These days, a lot of them, when it's on the back, they have some kind of little bit that sticks out, basically, that gives some space for the speaker to be able to reverberate off the table. A lot of the Samsungs do that, but it would appear... Well, actually, neither of these do, but the Moto G you can hear pretty loud and clear. I think that's relatively clear. The Moto G with a much louder speaker, even when you sort of lift the Nexus 4 up. I mean, that would annoy me anyway, to be honest. My phone's on a desk and it's ringing and it's muffled because it's on a desk. You know, isn't that how most of us leave our phones? I don't know. Or even in your pocket, if that speaker's against your leg and you can't hear very well, then it's not so good. Okay, so we're going to do the browser test. I'm going to clear both of the devices' data. Now it's ready on Engadget here, so let's try and hit them together. It looked like it did start a little earlier. I mean, I felt I hit it at the same time. The Moto G definitely was quicker. Let's try one more. Let's search both first. Pretty similar. Again, although I felt I was trying to tap at the same time, it just almost looked like the tap registered more on the Moto G first. They loaded pretty much. They're both very smooth, I would say. It's hard to do the same with each hand. They're both pretty smooth. I think there's very little between them. The browser test, although it looked technically like the Moto G won, I'd be tempted to go with a tie on that one. So all in all, I think the Moto G does pretty amazingly well. You could argue it was the better device of the two. As to why it's such a good head-to-head, the Moto G retails right now at a $130. You can get it from Tesco. If you've got some vouchers, you get it even less than that. You know, I effectively paid $109 because I had some vouchers that double up using the boost. So you use a £5 voucher, you get £10 off the phone. £5 Tesco voucher, that is. The Nexus 4, the street value, shall we say, is still relatively high. It's still about £150. If you look on eBay, the ones that have completed sales, it can be. There's some going at $140. There's some still going at $180. So I think when you look at the head-to-head and you say, well, the Moto G perhaps just edged ahead, possibly, then when you compare value-wise, I think that makes the gap, you know, a little bit bigger, and the Moto G probably would be the one to go for. If you then start looking at sort of design and things like that, you maybe say, well, the Nexus 4 is a better device, it's a nicer device. It is a Nexus device as well, so it should get the updates nice and quick. But then again, the Moto G is on a stock Android as well, so you would hope it would also get the updates very quickly. Even when you're on Tesco, you can flash without unlocking your bootloader, without risking your warranty. You can go back to stock. I have done a video. I'll try and remember to put a link somewhere around about there for you to click. I'll probably forget now and I'm just pointing into space. What are you doing? Anyway, so there you go. I think that was a pretty good head-to-head actually. Moto G probably won. My name's Andy. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll catch you all again soon.